What's in a letter? Well, if the letter is L, as in Latin for 50, it seems quite a lot. Here to tell us how the Super Bowl lost a letter and who's really upset about it is WSJ columnist Jason Gay. Jason, great to have you here.
Happy to be here.
So the L is loaded, huh?
Yeah.
Why did they get rid of it this year?
Well, the NFL looked at this. You know, they've had the Roman numeral tradition for 48 Super Bowls. Didn't have it for Super Bowl I because they didn't know they were going to have two, but they've had it from 2 to 49. And 10 years ago when they had XL, they looked at that and they said, that L looks okay there. But what happens for Super Bowl 50 when it's just
so they thought it was too much of
this? Exactly.
Got it.
We know what that means, especially in the world of sports. That's a loaded letter.
It is. So this decision didn't come lightly.
It didn't. They actually spent months. They said, months kicking around designs and different kinds of approaches to incorporating that L. But in the end, they went to Commissioner Roger Goodell and said, we got to go at 50.
And yet, with something as loaded as tradition as the Super Bowl, there were going to be some people who weren't happy about this.
Yeah, they didn't hear from the teams. They didn't hear from the coaches. You know who they heard from? High school Latin students.
Love it.
And this week I spoke to students in North Carolina, of all places, the Carolina Panthers on their way to the Super Bowl. The Masters Academy Latin Club was ticked off about this decision and wrote to the NFL. And the league yesterday took the amazing step of actually having a conference call with this high school Latin class to explain the decision.
It's the best. Well, I love the fact that they point out, for a lot of people, this might be the only exposure they get to Latin in their lives.
It's the Super Bowl of Latin. That's what it is. You think about what this language is. It's an ancient, some people say dead, but not these two.
No.
Dead to them. But it is the biggest exposure most of us have to that number system. And so for them to relinquish it for such a historic bowl was very defeating to them.
And so did they get a little glimpse into the future? What's to come?
They did. There was a little bit of a carrot and stick with the NFL. They showed them the logo for next year's Super Bowl 51, and we can reveal that they are going back to Roman numerals. It will be XI, Super Bowl 51, so America's Latin students can relax and go back to conjugating.
Breathe a sigh of relief. It'll be LI, right?
It'll be, I'm sorry, LI, not XI. LI, sorry.
We're so happy with that. And we're good for what, another 38 years?
Another 38 years until we get to Super Bowl 88, which I believe is LXXVIII. Try to put that on a hat. Can you put that on? I can't put that on a hat. Come on.
We'll see. We'll have you back on in 38 years. We'll be talking about it again.
I'll be sitting in this chair with my hat.
Jason Gay, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.